come on into the ditch. I'm your resident ditch witch, Tara Tyne, and we're about to get witchy, whether you like it or not. So this time of year is usually when I start making things for people for Christmas. I like to do craft projects with whatever I have around the house, but to make it kind of special and personalised for the people that I'm going to gift it to. So today I've decided to make 2 simple gifts based on Three Kings blend, which is my own made up blend of essential oils, which I'm going to put together first of all for you now whilst I'm drinking my tea. My Three Kings blend I have already used, say, in oil burners. I've also made a facial moisturising cream using this blend, or a variation of it, probably a simpler variation. But today I'm going to pull out all the stops. I'm going to go the whole hog and all the other cliches about doing things the best way you possibly can. The reason it's called Three Kings blend is because the 2 standout fragrances are frankincense and myrrh. This is sort of, you know, like it always reminds me of the 3 wise kings of the nativity story. The brand I'm using is, again, you've seen me use these before, Atlantic Aromatics. They're based in Ireland, they're top quality stuff. So I'm going to get mixing those. For the combined projects, I'm going to need a total of about 210 drops of essential oil. So I've broken that down into ratios based on base, middle and top notes to try and balance the scent of this. And whilst it's based on frankincense and myrrh primarily, I wanted to have also a nice floral blend because of the second product I'm going to be making today. So first up is 40 drops of frankincense oil. Now I should point out that 210 drops is an extremely rough amount because all of these different oils and the different oils that you're going to be using for these products, if you choose to make them, are all of different thicknesses and different consistencies, but generally speaking the dropper in the top of the bottle is always going to be roughly the same size. So a drop of one thing could equal sort of the consistency of 2 drops of something else. So basically I want roughly equal amounts of frankincense and myrrh, so I'm also going to put 40 drops of that. I don't mind being very rough with this. That's already starting to smell fantastic. I don't mind the amounts being rough in this. I could end up adjusting it to my own tastes and my own preference once I've blended these and mixed them. Next up is 35 drops of sandalwood. I love woody essences and Christmassy smelling things at this time of the year. Okay, I have to count again. Lovely. And 30 drops of rose and 25 drops of neroli. That is sort of like an uplifting citrusy sort of scent, which I think is always very good in essential oil blends around this time of year. And then 10 drops of clove. Okay, I've just realised I don't have 10 drops of clove left, so I'm just whacking in the 1 or 2 drops that I do have. But that's fine. Oh, wow. That smells like proper real, like expensive perfume that you would pay really good money on. And 10 drops of ylang ylang, 10 drops of lavender oil, and 10 drops of geranium oil, which I have forgotten to take out. Now these are a different brand. These are a French brand, like Phyto Sun Arôme, or Not too sure. I don't really know that much about them, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, they've got the Latin name on. They say 100% pure and natural. So, I don't know. But they've been working just fine for me in the time I've been using them. Cool. So, have a bat on that. Oh, that smells amazing and I can't wait to put it into some stuff. So first up with this little blend, we are going to make a candle from bits and pieces that you might find around your house. And yeah. Here's what you're going to need. 85 grams of candle wax, either in pellet form or just using old stumps of candles that you've burned before. A small 85 gram size tin, some candle wick, a teaspoon and a half of essential oils. This equals about 150 drops. And I'm using some gold food shimmer. I just gotta have that bling. You're also going to need 2 pots and a pair of chopsticks and possibly some other things that I can't just think of right now but will become apparent during the making of. I've put my wax into my double boiler. This one on the top is a pot that I only use for non-edibles, for wax and for oils and things containing essential oils. And I've laid some newspaper out to protect my work surface. I have attached some wick to this chopstick using sellotape. You want that to be about the right depth, sort of just to kind of touch the bottom of the tin. So that is about correct there. What I'm going to do is to dip this wick okay. Just set that down in there. I'm going to turn the heat off on this for a minute, let it cool a little bit. This has been on a low to medium heat. You really don't want to go heating hot wax too hot, and you don't want to leave it unsupervised for long periods of time. So this has melted down lovely now. I want to add my essential oils, but if I just throw these straight into a pot of really hot wax, they're going to lose a lot of their efficacy, their scent, and I don't want that. Okay, I think that should be okay now for adding the oils. So I am going to leave that sitting down here. And with my special non-edibles plastic spoon, I am going to push 1.5 teaspoons of oil in there. Oh, open up my drawer. Didn't really find what I was looking for, just another stick of felt. Now you can see that it has done this really cool sort of matrixy thing in that it's not as hot as the wax and so it's sort of clumped in the centre. So I'm just going to mix that through really well until it melts. It smells like liquid luxury. I'll be honest and say it smells a bit too nice to put into a tin can, but hey, what are you going to do? I'm going to just give that another quick second on the heat. Now, my wax is a mix of paraffin and possibly stearin, which helps to bring the colour up. I mean, it's also just as good to use beeswax or soy wax, and in fact I would highly recommend them. But the instructions for actually making the candle just might not be identical, so it's probably a good idea to do a quick Google search before using a different kind of wax. I am going to go ahead and pour that very carefully, very slowly into the mold. You didn't see it, didn't
so I doubt you will believe it. Dismiss these revelations from my imagination.
And I'm going to hold a little bit of the wax back because this will inevitably pool. In other words, the centre of it will sink once it starts to harden. I've just realised as well that I had planned to heat my container with a hairdryer in place of a heat gun, which a lot of websites recommend it to, in order to prevent the candle from separating away from the sides of the container as it's cooling. But hey, what are you gonna do? We've made it this far. There's only one more thing that I'm going to attempt to do to this before I allow it to harden, and that is to add some of this food grade shimmer. You can't see it too well there, but there we go. So that is basically a big old combination of E numbers, and I'm going to just put a little smattering of it in. It's not really recommended that you include too much of what's referred to as debris in candles because it can clog the wick, and I am sure that that would have a large effect on the quality of the burn that you're going to get off this. But it's seasonal, it's Three Kings, we've got the frankincense, we've got the myrrh. The only thing we're missing is some gold. Okay, so you can see here that the candle is starting to cool and harden. I'm not sure if you can see, but it has dipped considerably at the centre, so we were expecting it to do that. That's why we've kept this bit of wax left over in the pot. So I'm just reheating this now on medium-low on the double boiler, and then I'm going to top up the candle, just fill that sort of dip at the centre, apply a little bit more of the food shimmer, and then we are going to decorate the tin and make it pretty. Okay, so now that that has melted again, I am going to very carefully top up the line at the centre of the candle. You only want it to go to the height of your original candle. You don't want it going above and beyond that. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm going to add some more shimmer. I don't think the camera's really picking it up too well, but it's very, very, very pretty in the wax at the top. I'm just hoping that I haven't put in too much and affected my burn somehow, but I will report back in future videos and let you know how it got on. And then we're just going to allow that to set again before we can trim the wick and decorate. So that has hardened really nicely and filled out, and you can see the gold shimmer a little bit. Oh, a little bit better on it there. And I'm going to allow my camera to adjust itself. And then I am going to trim this wick. So we want to be doing that about 1 centimetre above the candle. And it smells divine, quite literally. Now for the next bit, I have got my trusty glue gun, and I have got some nice decorative ribbon and decorative twine. I sort of just keep scraps of stuff like this. I go harvesting it off things just to keep, because I know eventually I'm going to use it for something weird like this. Okay, I have just put a line of glue into which I am going to stick the end of this. actual candle. That will smell unpleasant if it burns. So now I am going to take this very nice twine. It's got metallic thread woven into it, so it's really just that extra bit of bling that you want coming into this time of year, especially this year. It's been a pretty nasty year. Oh, what I will do actually is double knot it. And there you go. All done. Gold sparkles. So the other thing I'm going to make today is some Three Kings cologne. Generally speaking, it's pretty easy to make a perfume or a cologne by putting a large blend of essential oils into some kind of alcohol and then putting it into an atomizer bottle in a dark blue or amber colour. This is in order to protect the essential oils from the effects of sunlight, which can diminish their efficacy. So I have decided that I'm going to be super fancy today and take a recommendation that I saw on the internet about using spiced rum as your base alcohol. So I've just realised I really could be doing with a funnel for this as well to make life easier, but you know, I don't have one. I wasn't that prepared, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do my best to bung it in here. This is a 100ml bottle. I am using a well-known brand of spiced rum which is commercially available, and I am going to fill that up with a very steady hand. I've given this bottle a good wash, but alcohol is a preservative and I've just overfilled the bottle. Hold on. Okay, so I have my 100ml there or thereabouts of spiced rum, and now I am going to take a pipette, this plastic syringe, picky uppy squeezy tubey thing, and I am going to suck up the oil and squeeze it in there. The sort of recommended amount is 60 drops of essential oil for every 100ml thereabouts of alcohol. So these things that I'm making today, you know, you don't need to make Three Kings blend. Those are just all essential oils that I have anyway, because I'm into using essential oils for crafting and for sort of lotions and potions and things like that. But I mean, you can just buy a bottle of lavender essential oil. There's roughly usually between 200 and 250 milliliters of oil in every small bottle of essential oils. So that is the amount that I used for both the candle and the cologne today. So one bottle of essential oil you can get for as little as maybe €5–6 if it's good quality stuff. So that's a very reasonable amount for just that real touch of luxury that you get for it. What I would say is that if you're using essential oils in large amounts, you're going to want to Google the contraindications on the oils that you're using, and these are sort of the health warnings. So there are quite a few oils that wouldn't be recommended during pregnancy and that sort of thing. If you're sensitive or have underlying conditions, you should do a Google search before you start. These are great. It means you don't lose it on the pour, because these cost money, yo. Now we are going to put the lid on. We are going to give it a good shake. We're going to have a smell. Oh, folks. Oh, I feel like I'm following the angel Gabriel through the desert sky on my way to a very Christmassy birth scene. That is just magic. It works really, really well with the spiced rum. Spiced gold, the bottle says, and I would say that is pretty much what that smells like. So that's it for this week's matching pair of DIY giftables based on my own chosen blend, which I call Three Kings. And I'm soz, not soz about the shorter length of this week's video, but we have been asked to contribute a cover of a well-known Christmas song to a charity Christmas album by a good friend of ours. So we are putting all our energy into that this week, but don't worry, there'll be more about that in a video a little bit closer to Christmas. And also I promise that next week's vlog is going to be jam-packed full of juicy information, mainly all based around the magic of beetroot. Yes. So hit subscribe for more fun and witchy adventures, and good luck to you agus slán go fóill.